So let's jump right into today's topic. Today's topic is obedience slash vulnerability. And this topic is very, very, very special to me because I am a person who likes control. I've been someone who likes to know what's going to happen, when, how, why, all of that. What's that? What has that led me to in life? A lot of good things, right? But it's also led me to a lot of places in life where I don't necessarily thrive, right? There's no there's no growth. I feel stagnant because what I'm trying to do is put what I'm doing into a box, right? And we could do this naturally. Everybody does this. Everyone puts things into boxes. That's how we compartmentalize in our minds so that we understand what's going on. It's really hard to understand what's going on if we just let it happen, right? We kind of have to say, oh, okay, so this goes here, right? I think that that's cute. Okay, I like that. Okay, I dislike that. Okay, I kind of like that. I might be able to deal with that one day, right? We categorize things in our minds. But within that comes a lot, and I mean a lot of rigidity and a lot of repetitiveness. I don't want to repeat the same old things that I did in the past. I don't want to repeat the same old mistakes. I'd rather be on a path where I make new mistakes. Mistakes will be made, but every mistake leads you to, how do you say? Every mistake leads you right where you're supposed to go to. So, with that in mind, being vulnerable, being someone who can be vulnerable, being someone who can put their heart on their sleeve and love unconditionally. What does that take? Courage, kindness, right? Compassion, care. To love unconditionally, understanding, patience, forgiveness, if you want to call it that. In other words, it takes a little bit of work. It takes a tiny, 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 tiny bit of work. But it's worth it. Vulnerability is, for me, the one thing in my life that has always changed my life. Whenever I've been vulnerable to the thing that created me and said, you know what? You know what I want. I know I'm deserving of it, right? Because I've accumulated and cultivated such an amount of self love where I just know that, right? I know that God wants you to have everything you want. I know God wants me to have everything that I desire as well. So I say, take it, take it, take my schedule, take my time, take my life, right? Take my path, my tongue, what I say, right? Just I surrender it all to you because this is not about you and me, you know? It is, but it also is not. It is, but it isn't. We'll go into that another time, whole nother topic. But I appreciate when it hits me again, when it's like, hey girl, you've been trying to take too much control of stuff, right? You've been trying to, you know, uh walk the line too much. Let me in. Let me help you. Let me assist you. Let me guide you. I said, okay, I'll step back. I will step back. And that is a very powerful place to be. To allow something greater than yourself to take over, it takes, like I said, courage, patience, things like that. And that vulnerability that you show to people, that you show to yourself, right? Looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, what is it? Who am I? Right? Who do I want to be? Who do I really want to be? Not who do I act like? Who does someone else want me to be? Who do I really want to be? That's a sign of vulnerability, right? That's a humongous way to be vulnerable with yourself. Is truly looking in that mirror and saying, who do I want to be today? And putting it out there. Because once you start asking that question, the answers flow. The answers really do. They flow in. And you might get confused for a second because like Michael Singer says in the book, The Untethered Soul, he said, which you is it that you're supposed to be, basically? To this self, or this quote right here that says, that this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou cannot then be false to any man. By William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare said that quote. Now, further in the book, I'm looking to see. He says, yet if so-and-so were to be totally honest with himself, he would realize that his father may as well have told him to catch the wind. After all, to which self are we to be true? Is it the one that shows up when we are in a bad mood, or the one that is present when we feel humbled by our mistakes? Is it the one who speaks from the dark recesses of the heart when we are depressed or upset, or the one that appears during those fleeting moments when life seems so fanciful and light? From these questions, we see that the concept of self may turn out to be a bit more elusive than initially presumed, right? So with that in mind, it's obvious that when you are to look in the mirror and say something like, show me who I am, who are you? You're going to get a response. There's going to be a lot of different responses because that's who you've been being for so long. It's going to be the one who's depressed and sad. It's going to be the one who's excited because life is great, right? It's going to be the one who's angry. It's going to be the one who's happy. It's going to be the one who's kind. It's going to be the one who's not. It's going to be all those things. But asking yourself, who do you want to be? What that really is saying is, who am I? And that is even a better question. Who are you? Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? And you feel something when you do that. It's impossible not to, truly. You feel something when you ask yourself in the mirror, who are you? And you look yourself in the eyes. It causes something within you to shake and to move because it's waking up. But all these other distractions are still here. We must learn. And that book is a great way to do it. I'm rereading it for the, I think, 4th time. I've read that book so many times. Whew, powerful, powerful words. And like it says in there, when, I forgot where I was going with that. I haven't gotten to that part in the book yet. But regardless, just pay attention to how vulnerable you're being in your life. Are you really being your true self, your authentic self? Or are you being who you thought you were? There's nothing wrong with that, right? And it can get scary to rewrite your whole life, right? I mean, look at me. I just purchased a whole new house. My relationship status is completely changed. Everything in my life has changed. I moved cities, right? Yeah, I mean, everything in my life has changed. I've had a lot of big changes. So I've been learning to become, I want to say obedient, right? Vulnerability, obedience. And it's not being obedient like, oh, yes, sir, no, sir. Ha, ha, ha. It's obedience when it comes down to law, structure, organization, when it comes to dedication, commitment, follow through, those types of things, right? Becoming obedient. Because here's the thing, the self begets the experience, right? So I don't want my life to be in disarray. I want my life to be nice and organized, healthy, peaceful, joyful, exciting, right? I want to be doing stuff like that. I cannot believe this stuff exists. Can you believe this exists? Can you believe it? And it's not far away. This is so close to you. Look at there's boats. There's boats. What does boats mean? People. Wow, people get to see that? Yeah, people are actually living this lifestyle. There's little boats out there. You might not be able to see them. Clouds in the sky. There's trees on the ground. There's water touching sand. There's salt water. It's all salt water. What is that, a volcano? Right? It's just incredible. This is reality. And we get to live it. So go live today in a vulnerable state of being, in an obedient state of being, enjoying every step of the way. I say it like it's easy, right? That stuff is not easy. Man, it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a journey. And journeys are worth the walking, right? Journeys are worth it. Truly, there's this road to Hana in Hawaii. If anyone's been to Maui, you've heard of it, right? The road to Hana. Road to Hana in Maui. You go up this road. It's really, really skinny road on a cliff, going up a volcano. There's waterfall, beautiful waterfalls on the side that land into these pools of water that you can actually swim in. Just delectable stuff. Amazing. And as you drive up this road, you're like, okay, we're going to Hana. Hana is a city, right, at the top of this mountain. Or volcano, probably not a volcano, right? Hana is a city, though, up there. And as you go up the road, it's absolutely gorgeous. The views are impeccable, just jaw-dropping, to die for. Stuff like this, it's like driving on the inner side of something like this, just woo, oh my goodness, you can't believe it. The smells, the textures of the air, the humidity, right? The sounds, it's just all just breathtaking. And as you're going up this hill, you're just so in awe. And as you keep going and going and going, you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get there. I bet this is going to be so incredible. And when you get there, you get out of the car and oh my God, there's nothing. You know what there is? It's a little tiny town. It's like a shack, a couple shacks. It's Hawaii, right? Mahalo. It's a lot of shacks, but they're storefronts and they're little restaurants. But I mean, you get up there, and it's just this little tiny town, and you're up at the top of the hill, and you're like, oh wow, okay, is this what we drove 2 hours for? But it's all about the journey. We had laughs on that journey, and we'll have laughs going down. We'll have laughs about this experience. So enjoy your life today. And I'm really talking to myself as I do these things, just so you guys know. I think you guys do know that, as everybody probably does. Everyone's talking to themselves, right? So I'm definitely talking to myself when I'm saying these words to you guys. So I deeply do appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening. I appreciate you sharing with your friends. I appreciate you liking it. I appreciate you subscribing to the channels. I appreciate the love and the immense amount of energy that I can feel from you guys. Thank you so much. You deserve everything. And always remember, this is Mind is Matter. This is a place where what we do here is we help people elevate their minds so that they can live the reality that they want to live. Now, let's go have an enjoyable day. See you soon.